All right, friends, we are back. So I have cooked off. Sophia, turn that down. So I've cooked off the chicken. Sorry, technical difficulties here. So the chicken's all nice and browned on both sides. So at this point, they want you to transfer your cubed chicken. I like to cut some of my chicken up because I don't like big, huge pieces of chicken. I like more like bite size. So some of the bigger ones I'm just trying to cut in half. So at this point, we are going to transfer these into a small casserole dish or baking dish. I already coated this with a little olive oil. If you have olive oil spray, which I don't, you can spray your pan just so things don't stick. And so we're just going to scoop this chicken. I think I cooked it too long. It said just until you're almost cooked. So you still want the chicken a little, if not all the pieces are done, that's okay. But I got distracted with one of my children, and so they're pretty cooked. So you just want to put it in the bottom of your casserole dish. And then in here, we're going to kind of put all the tomatoes and the goodness. And I have my pan on low just to try to not get things too heated. I'm running out of knives here. I gave my dog a piece of chicken and now he won't leave my side. So it says to use Roma tomatoes, but I don't have any, so I'm just using what I have on hand, which are these nice kind of big beefier tomatoes. So that's what I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. So you just want to dice these up also and into bite-sized pieces. And tomatoes, you know, they're a problem for a lot of people. Either they cause inflammation of some sort, or heartburn of some sort. So just, if they do, then try to find a different vegetables. But this is a bruschetta vegetable, so you kind of have to have the tomatoes. Because you put little tomatoes on your bruschetta, your little pieces of toast. So this is, you know, the casserole, what it calls for. But I'm sure you could opt out and do different things with just chicken casserole. So just try to be creative, because I know a lot of people can't eat tomatoes. I'm just trying to cut that stem part out. But I love tomatoes, and I was on a really strict diet at first. And then I have been able to introduce foods as time has gone by to see which ones I have a sensitivity to. But tomatoes are okay, especially fresh tomatoes. I would say, I'm just going to take, a little chicken broth. If you have low sodium chicken broth, that would probably work even better. You're just going to get maybe a couple tablespoons in there just to try to get the drippings off the, I don't have enough room around my stove to work. To get all those little specks of flavor that are on the bottom of that pan. So chicken broth, or if you have a nice white wine that you like to deglaze your pans with, by all means, you can do that at this point. And you just want to scrape the bottom of the pan and get all those bits of flavor up. And then at this point, we're going to put the tomatoes in. And I have my heat set at really low because I didn't want everything to burn. Because these pans, cast iron, they get so hot and they retain their heat. And then I end up burning everything. So let me wipe off all this tomato juice. This is probably why they want you to use Roma tomatoes. They're less like watery. They're more beefy, or like have more beef to them or whatever. Okay, so next we're going to cut up some garlic. Fresh garlic, of course, is better. So I'm going to attempt. It calls for like 3 fresh garlic cloves. I kind of have small ones here, but It's all I have left. So use what you have, and if you don't have fresh garlic, then, you know, garlic salt, garlic powder, again, whatever you have on hand. So that's usually what I try to do, so I don't have to go out to the grocery store to have to get something special for a recipe. I just hate doing that, right? So you just want to dice this up, or mince it up, whatever you call it. Try to get it small as you can. You don't want big chunks of garlic when you're eating it, but maybe you do. So, did you guys see that new garlic? Oh, it's a new gadget. You can take a garlic clove, and it's almost like a pastry cutter, and you go like this, and it minces the garlic for you, like within seconds, and it's like amazing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life, because I hate mincing up garlic. That's why everybody goes out and gets the stuff in the cans, right? Because who wants to take the extra step to do that? So it calls, again, for fresh oregano, fresh basil, but I don't have any of those. So I'm just going to do dried oregano, like a teaspoon or so. Again, I'm just kind of measuring in my hand. So, and I don't have basil, but I do have this from Epicure. And again, Epicure, they're all whole ingredients, no nitrates or artificial stuff in these seasonings. So I can be guaranteed, you know, that I don't have all that icky MSG stuff in it. So this has salt, pepper, and garlic, and it has other herbs in it too. So it smells good. So it has all the main ingredients, you know, the salt, the pepper, the garlic, and it's green in color, so you know it has all those other herbs in there too. So I thought that would be good in here also. And then, again, if you didn't have fresh garlic, like a garlic powder, this is from Epicure. It's amazing. It's almost gone. I only have a little line left of it, so I'm going to have to get some more. That's my favorite go-to. As you can tell, I like garlic. So I'm just raising the heat a little bit to kind of get this boiling and kind of evaporate some of that chicken stock, because you don't want all that wetness. So I'm just going to cook the garlic, let those seasonings build, let that garlic cook a little bit so it's not so like strong. I'm gonna let that broth evaporate a little bit so I have it up a little bit. I'm gonna let that cook off, and then we'll show you how to layer this and get it in the oven for dinner. All right. Hi guys, I forgot to tell you one more ingredient to add to our tomato mixture. So they said to use a really high quality balsamic vinegar, which again, I thought I had, but I can't find it. So I'll probably find it like another time, and I'll be like, oh, there it was. But I don't have it. But you can smell that fresh garlic and the tomatoes. So we're building the bruschetta part, right? So again, if you have balsamic on hand, they say to sprinkle that in at this point, but I don't, so I'm improvising. So I have some balsamic vinaigrette salad dressing from Newman's Own. So I'm giving it a good shake, and I'm going to put some of this in here. So it'll have that good vinegary balsamic flavor. Probably a couple tablespoons I put in there. And again, if you like it more, you can put more in there. So kind of let that cook and marinate. I'm going to let this kind of, it's starting just to do a slow little bubble and boil. So I'm going to cook this for a few more minutes, and then we'll assemble our casserole. All right, Facebook friends. So this is nice and bubbly. So I'll show you here. If you see it, it's cooking down. And if you could smell that, smells amazing. It's nice and garlicky. You can smell that balsamic and those tomatoes. It smells wonderful. And then I was going to show you, a patient's family, if you didn't know, I'm a hospice nurse. A family member of one of my patients gave me these beautiful squashes, like these. I cut it in half and I'm scooping out the seeds because I want to try to eat these up. I'm really trying not to be wasteful of any food, especially like fruits and vegetables. So if anything is looking like it's going to go bad soon, I really try to use it up because I feel like, especially nowadays, I just don't want to waste anything and be very conscientious of that. And so I've had these in my pantry for a while. And I have another big one that the patient family gave me. And I just don't want to waste it. And so I finally took them out and I'm like, I'm going to cut this up and we're going to bake this and eat it. So this is what I'm going to have with the casserole. I don't know if it so much goes together, you know, but I think we have to kind of be more open to just eating more vegetables as a nation, in general, good rule. So what I usually do with these is that I will wrap them in aluminum foil and then just bake them till they're nice and kind of fork tender. And I will probably put some olive oil on mine, a little salt and pepper, and maybe a little cinnamon. I'm going to try not to load them up with a bunch of brown sugar like I usually do because I can't have all that sugar. So I'm going to try just doing some olive oil, cinnamon, and maybe a little salt and pepper and eating mine. But we used to bake a bunch of these up just in the microwave when my dad was alive and get it all nice and mushy and like almost like mashed potatoes and put them in freezer bags and freeze them so all winter we could have fresh squash. Ooh, it was so good. So all you had to do was reheat it with a little butter and brown sugar and you had yummy squash in the winter. It's amazing food. I just love it. So this is bubbling quite a bit, as you guys can see here. So a little bit of that chicken oil, chicken stock has gone off. I got a slotted spoon, and then I'm just going to make a mess and scoop these tomatoes. I'm going to turn off this pan. We're going to scoop the tomatoes on top of the chicken. So we're just kind of layering it on there. So this has that good garlic in there, remember? Balsamic. It's even gotten a little thicker here too as it cooked and bubbled away. So it looks amazing and it smells like bruschetta. So there we are. Let me see if I can bring you down without my phone tipping. So, ooh, this is hot. So this is where we're at now. So on top of this would be a great time to put some fresh basil, but like I said, I don't have any, so hopefully all those seasonings will be enough flavor. And then on the top of this, I just want you to spread some fresh mozzarella. So I grate my own, as you know. I think it just melts better and tastes better when you do the blocks of cheese and shred it that way. So I did probably about a half a cup to a cup, however much you like it. Then it says to bake this uncovered for, 10-15 minutes. And then you take it out of the oven and you put aluminum foil on it and you just kind of let it sit there for a while before serving. So it's going in the oven, 375 for about 10 minutes or so until the cheese is nice and bubbly because everything's really cooked in here. So I don't need the chicken to get tough, So I'm just going to bake this off, bring it out, let it rest, and then dinner's served. So a great gluten-free, carb-free dinner for you guys who are keto or try to be more carb conscious or gluten conscious. So I'm excited for you guys to try this. Let me know how you liked it. I'm going to pop it in my stove, get it baking. Oops. Oh. And then I'm going to wrap these in aluminum foil and get these baking and roasting, and then we'll have some squash with our bruschetta tonight. Why not? The more vegetables you can get in, the better for you. So it fills you up, has bunch of nutrients and minerals and vitamins, and it's just better for you. So I will try to snap a picture before we eat to let you see the finished product. So I will see you next time, guys, and I hope you have a great night. See ya.